So we're gonna go down here and we're gonna file a complaint on him, because if he does this to somebody who is recording him, he's illegally taking IDs from people and violating their civil rights and constitutional rights. We have to do something about this. He doesn't need to be a law enforcement officer if this is what he's doing, because he swore an oath to the Constitution. And the Constitution is very clear. You don't have to give up your ID. Your papers are secured unless you committed a crime or unless you want to. So we're down here now. This is all they do, ride up and down the street. Look at him, riding up and down the street behind some bicyclists. Unbelievable. But we're gonna go in here, and I hope the chief is in here, because I'd like to know, when did this become law? The citizens had to give up their ID, and the chief's vehicle is here. That's those two cars, right? One of those is the assistant chief and the chief. So both of them are here today, and I hope they're in here training this corporal. So let's go in here and find out what is going on. About time they clean this mess up in the middle of the floor. Good morning, young lady. I need a complaint form on a law enforcement officer.
Sure. Now the complaint forms. No, are they over there yet? The complaint forms should be over there.
Are they? Okay. Is your chief in?
I'm sorry?
Is the chief in?
I believe he is. You want me to get him for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Hold on one second.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. So the chief is coming out and maybe to speak to me. I just want this officer retrained so that this does not happen again. And I'm pretty sure he saw the video. I don't feel like I need to keep calling and wasting resources to get CCN numbers on a call I make. One thing citizens need to understand, your ID does not help them at all with any kind of investigation other than running it to find out if you have warrants. That's all your ID when they request that from you. Is to run your name and see if you have any warrants. That's the address to the police department, 7500 Maple Avenue, Takoma Park, 20912. He came to the door to be nosy. To be nosy. How you doing, sir? How you?
Called me at a good time.
Did I? Well, I'm pretty sure you saw the video of your officer requesting my ID for CCN numbers.
I'm not sure what video you're talking. I know there were a couple incidents out there
Yesterday.
over the weekend.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen the
Well,
video.
he refused to give me the CCN numbers. I made a phone call about some dumping on Sligo Mill Road.
Okay.
And I requested the CCN numbers for my reports and what I'm doing on the dumping out there. And he refused to give it to me because I refused to give him my ID.
Okay.
He was a training officer, training another officer. The young lady asked me first, and I explained to her I don't have to give up my ID to get CCN numbers. And he told me he was mad because I asked him his name and his badge number, and he said it's right here. And I told him that protocol requires you to give me your name and badge number. When a citizen asks, does it not?
Did he refuse to give the right here, meaning it was on his? Because what we've done is all officers now have their ID.
Yeah, they have it up there, but the problem is, Chief, he should verbally say it to me. I mean, what if I can't see or read or whatever? And he became irate with that. And then his whole demeanor, you could see it in his face. He didn't like it. He didn't like me recording him. So I asked him, is your name right here? And then he gave it to me, and I said, well, what's your badge number? He said, it's right here. So I say, your badge number is right here too? I said, okay, well, I'll come and talk to your chief and see if we can do something about the right here stuff.
So this happened on the call that you called in?
Yes, sir.
Because I know there was at least 2 dumpings this week.
Correct. Matter of fact, I made 3 phone calls after I made the call to have someone come out and give me a complaint on that dumping. And then I had to recall again and have a sergeant who was professional came out and he gave me the CCN
So you
number.
got, okay, so you.
And it's all on video.
Okay. So you have the video, so you can.
It's on my channel. Yeah.
Okay.
It's on my channel.
So I'm assuming you want to file a complaint on a particular officer?
Well, I'm going to file a complaint, but I think he needs to be retrained, and I'm not telling how to, but I don't think he needs to train anybody. I mean, this young lady was a trainee, and if that's how he's training her, that's the wrong way to train somebody. I mean, my ID is not going to tell anything about me other than I may have warrants or whatever, and I don't need it, and I don't know a law that says I have to give my ID up to get complaint numbers.
No, there's no correlation between an ID and complaint. We
Yeah,
always give you complaint numbers.
Yeah, I know that, and that's what I try to explain to him. Every time I call, you guys have been professional. I've never met this officer before, but he came out with an attitude from jump. And if that's how he's going to do when I'm recording him, Chief, what is he doing when nobody's recording him?
Well, Mr. Moment, as I told you, if you have issues, we'd be more than happy to look into it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the video that you're talking about, but if it's on your channel, we can access it that way. If not, I can reach back out to you to get the video. There's an easier way than the paper. You can do it online, or if you want to do it that way.
Well, I'm out caught watching anyway, but
Okay.
but my thing was his whole demeanor was a nasty, unprofessional demeanor, and that's why I just wanted, because I saw your car, I said let me talk to the chief, because I want to bring it to your attention, and just like I told the officer, you guys are the one that's making the chief look bad when y'all come out here and do stuff like this. I'm not making you look bad. I'm just pushing the record button.
No, Mr. Moment, as I've told you before,
Yeah.
It disturbs me just about the incidents, the number of incidents over the weekend, and this is continuing. So
Yeah.
we're going to be doing a couple things. We tried to put a fence up there, trying to get the city to build a fence.
Well, that's just going to waste money, Chief.
Well,
Because they dumped it over the fence that we have up there into the wood.
at least it would help. there's a couple of things. I'm gonna put the signboard back up.
That helped.
So it's charging right now. I'm gonna have my staff put it back out there tomorrow, just so it's a deterrent. But that's not a permanent solution.
Yeah, I know.
So we're trying to find ways to create a permanent solution.
Up the ante, Chief. I don't know if you can do it, but
I don't have control over what the fines are for.
well, your city council and your
No,
they don't either.
No.
Who does?
Dumping would be. All of those are state regulated
Okay.
laws. They're not city regulated laws.
Well, that's why I'm doing something to write to the governor because $1,000, I could put $1,000 out of my pocket to
I
pay.
think a lot of times contractors, they will risk a $1,000 fine because of the cost associated with turning in a dump in a lawful way. So if you get caught once out of 50 times, you do the cost benefit analysis.
Yeah.
So I see what you mean regarding that. You know, like I say, it's a bad area because it's on that dead end and it's so isolated and people are aware. So whatever we can do to try to, you know, at least the signboard worked.
Yeah, it did. It did. It helped a lot.
I'll be honest with you, I can't leave the signboard out there permanently, but we're going to try to rotate it through just so it's out there periodically so people don't know. There's one camera up there now. We're trying to go out there and gather the information from that. On a couple of those other cases, we were able to pull information off of. What I'd also like to do is put another camera at the top so you can get the tag. So we have 2 cameras. Because I know Takoma, Park Police had a camera out there or 2 cameras out there for a period of time. And I don't know what information they got off of those, but our goal is, obviously we're not going to just completely eliminate it. That's just not.
No,
but in the fact that it's 2 jurisdictions. So when it's dumped, where you know, the recent dump is, I understand, we're on our side, and then if it's dumped on the other side, it's Park Police. So we need to work collectively with them. You know, they've done a lot. You know, when I first came out there, it was bad.
Yeah.
There was large, you know, old, you know, drums of oil, all kinds of other trash. So they made an effort with the volunteers, with parking planning coming out and cleaning stuff out. We don't want to get back to where we were before.
Exactly. And that's what my problem is, Chief. I mean, just like I told your officer, right? I'm not trying, they came out and did a good job cleaning it up. I'm not trying, and the problem is this, if I need to step up and start getting tagged them, I'll do that. But I do not want to get in a confrontation with these people because I'm
not asking you to.
No, I'm just saying. And this is why I haven't done it yet, because I'm not going to back down from you coming doing this because it's an illegal act.
No, Mr. Bowman, that's.
No, I'm saying getting their tag them and that they confront me.
For us, it would be very helpful if you can get the tag number.
But you know what that entails, somebody.
No, but
okay.
Let me finish. I'm not asking you to put yourself in a situation where you're going to be involved in a potential conflict. That's not.
Yeah, I understand.
That's the last thing I'm going to ask you to do.
And that's what I'm not trying to do. And that's why, you know, the corporal that came, if he would have just stayed around a little longer, he would have saw the van because they went back down New Hampshire Avenue. But his demeanor about me recording and confronting him about his name, he just jumped back in the car with the trainee and left.
As I said,
you know,
fill out the paperwork.
Yeah.
We'll make sure it's investigated. If something was done that shouldn't have been done, we'll make sure we address it.
Well,
I mean, I met with you.
If you look at the video, you'll see. I mean, all I asked was the CCN numbers.
It's on your.
And I do not have to give up my ID.
No, I understand.
And the young lady should know that. I mean, she was a trainee. She was professional. He wasn't. And then I went to her. Since she was more professional, he took that real bad because I started talking to her instead of him, because she addressed me more professionally than he did. And he didn't like that at all.
This moment, as I told you, if you're displeased with how you treat it, we'll look into it.
You're right.
Absolutely. I'll make sure that you know, if you want me to make it a little bit easier, I can have somebody meet with you right now and take it directly from you so we have it, so you don't have to go out and fill it out.
Well, the thing is this, Chief. I mean, I thought maybe, I'm pretty sure you have, because I think Mr. Wright mentioned that he saw it. And the sergeant, once I explained it to him, he didn't understand how it escalated. It should have never escalated.
So let me just, I'm trying to try. So the officers originally came off for one of the complaints, because there were 2 complaints.
Yeah, I called.
The officers responded out. I'm just trying to ascertain what happened. You asked for a CCN number. They asked for ID to get the CCN number, or how did that?
I call your Takoma Park.
The non-emergency.
Yeah.
And that's always the best. But
yeah.
If you want to get us there.
But 2 people got on the phone, and the sergeant didn't understand that. And you'll hear, because it's recorded. I was talking to a female, and then a male got on it.
That's when we have two dispatchers. I don't know what the situation is, but we're training new dispatchers. So what you might have gotten the first time is the trainee, and then the actual dispatcher who's training them would come on after this. So that may have been what happened. I'm not sure who the dispatcher.
I didn't know. I didn't understand.
We have two new dispatchers. So most likely that was part of the situation.
Okay, so I called.
That's not uncommon when we have two.
No. I thought somebody was bugging you something or whatever. But I called.
Well, just so you know, we record all calls.
Yeah, I know.
So and they should.
And that's another thing why
they should say that when they.
She did, and that's why I didn't understand the whole attitude problem, because when I call your non-emergency number, I told her where I was at. I told her I will be waiting for you here.
Okay.
So, when they drove up, the young lady was driving. She pulled up in a car. She asked me, did I call? And what was the problem? I told her, we have more dumping. She went in the Jiffy Lube, backed out, parked. She got out the car, and she said, I think she said, are you the one that called? And I said, yes, I am. I said, well, all I want is that we have more dumping, and I would like to get the CCN numbers. She asked me for my ID, the trainee.
Well, normally, I'm assuming, and I'm just trying to, I haven't seen any of it. The reason they ask for the ID is to get the information for the report.
But you don't need a...
But no, I understand that.
Okay.
But, and
I understand that.
As I explained earlier, you don't need to provide it. You can say, I don't want to provide my ID. That's fine.
Well, that's what I was telling her. I said, ma'am, all I want is the CCN numbers, because I'm writing a report to try to get some government assistance.
The bigger picture.
Yeah, and that's what I explained to her. And she said, well, I can't give you the CCN numbers without an ID. And I said, no, that's not how it works, ma'am. And then first I asked her name and her badge number. Then I went to him and I said, what's your name and your badge number? He said, right here. I say, oh, you're one of those. So you're right here. So I said, well, what's your badge name? He gave it, and then I said, what's your badge number? He said, right here. And I could see the nastiness, and So I went back to her. Wait, I'm gonna tell you, Chief, I don't have nothing against none of your officers. But
so are you recording?
Yes, sir. I record everything.
I mean to both. Why are you doing it?
Because now the body camera tells all. I mean, I don't try to hide.
Does it get
two different versions on my?
Okay.
And you'll see that on my thing. I give two different versions. I don't doctor anything. I don't want nobody to say I'm doctoring it. But
I was just inquiring. Go ahead.
She was being more professional than he was, and I was trying to explain to her, ma'am, all your officers come out here like once a week to do this, and they never ask me for my ID. I don't have to give my ID up to get the CCN numbers. Then he jumped in and talking about, well, we're not going to give you CCN numbers. I'm paraphrasing it. We're not going to give you CCN numbers until you give an ID. And you can call the police department and let me know, and I'll come back out here and give you the CCN numbers when you're ready to give me your ID. I say, do you really want to go down this route? Because I'm going to file a complaint and I'm going to talk to your chief. So he gets back in the car. He calls the sergeant, which I found out later because you'll see it in the phone. He's on his cell phone.
But you called the sergeant also, though? You called him?
No, I called back. I called your dispatch again.
Okay.
And they wanted to give me the CCN numbers. I said, no, I would like a sergeant out here so I can explain to him what went wrong and what happened. When the sergeant came back out here, which you'll see, all this was videotaped, he came out, he said the guy called him, and he didn't understand what went wrong. And I told him what went wrong. I just want the CCN numbers. I said, why do I have to go through all this just to get complaint numbers when I made the phone call? I mean, my idea is not going to say anything about me, Chief. That's just to run warrants or it's not going to tell me if I dump this or whatever.
Normally under circumstances like that, the officer would just use that to ascertain information for the report, like who is the complainant. They're not going to run.
John Doe.
They're not going to run you through it.
I know, but
that is just, it makes it so much easier to just jot down the information.
In my learning, that's the only thing that you ask a person for their ID. You could have put John Doe or concerned citizen made a 911 call.
So the report would still be safe. You could have refused and said, I just want to report it, and it would have listed as anonymous.
Well, that's what I told him. I don't want to go on any kind of report, and pretty sure everybody knows who I am anyway, back here anyway. I'm holding a camera. I got a body camera, and I'm recording you, so you should know who I am anyway. And I'm not hiding that. That's not a hide. It's just that when I record, I don't need everybody to know
No, I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand. And you also don't want to. There's a possibility that your ID could be seen.
I don't care about that, Chief. I come from a different kind of breed. If you come give me problems, I'll give you problems. You know, as you know, somebody broke into one of my cars.
I did hear about that.
Yeah, they didn't steal anything. They just took all the tools and threw them on the ground. So I know who it is. I got them on camera.
Oh.
And I want them to come back.
But do you want to let us know?
No. I want them to come back, Chief. I'll let you know when he'll be waiting for you the next time you come back. I'm just being honest, Chief.
But that's not the best way. If you know who it is, why
Chief,
not let us know so we can charge them?
The Supreme Court says I'm securing my property, and I have a right to defend my property against foreign and domestic terrorists. You see all them no trespassing signs. You cross that line, I'm considering you a terrorist. Okay.
I'm not downplaying that.
Okay.
But I'm saying from a law enforcement perspective,
I understand.
We would like to know who it is.
That's the same thing about the bullet that they left.
Was it the same person that found the hands?
They look to be the same. So, but the thing is this: I'm gonna do something to him, but he'll be alive enough for y'all to get him. I'm just being real, Chief.
Mr. Norman, you have the absolute right to defend your property.
Yeah.
But for the last time, if you know who it is, I ask that you tell us. But if you choose not to, that's your right.
Yeah. And I'm willing to stand before 12 people and explain it to them.
Okay.
You know, but that's beside the point anyway, Chief. I mean, it's just the point that your officers are there. The majority of them, I know they don't like me videotaping them, but they've never been this disrespectful as this guy was. And he was training one of your new officers.
Let me ask you this: did you just so I know? Did you get everything you needed for both of those cases?
Yes, sir. I mean, the sergeant came out and gave me the thing, which I shouldn't have had to mess up resources and pull him from whatever he was doing to give me something that should have been readily available for me upon request. And that's my biggest issue.
I understand. So just for my sake, I think I can identify who it is. We'll start looking into it right now. I'll have the patrol commander who oversees all the patrol section look into this and see what happened. They'll be that contact person. Is the email the best way to reach back out to you?
Yes, sir.
I know I sent you an email.
Yes, sir.
So they'll contact you.
Don't take it personal when I write back to you. You know, I mean,
Mr. Moment,
you're a good guy, Chief. And like I said, when I first came down here, I couldn't get you, and I met you here. And all I want is service. If I commit a crime, lock me up. If somebody else doing it, lock them up. I want it to go across the board. I don't want favoritism. And that's how I feel now, that we got favoritism down there in that area, because I can go out there and I can get people's tag number, but it's gonna lead into something else. You see what I'm saying?
No, if it's going to create a situation where you are putting yourself in jeopardy, when I say jeopardy, not that you can't defend yourself, but you're putting yourself in a situation where you might have a confrontation. I'm not asking you to do that at all.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that if at all possible, you can. That would be very helpful, because that is an easy way to identify, or maybe an insignia on the truck. Sometimes a lot of these are unmarked vans or trucks, but sometimes they have insignia on them. That would be helpful.
Well, the sofa that was dropped off yesterday was in a Mercedes black van with the whoever that was, they have money. Those vans aren't cheap. Same thing with the other one. It's just, these are construction handymans who are dropping this stuff off here. And like you say, it's not hard to put an unmarked vehicle down there with a camera system in it. It's not hard to figure out who these people are that's dropping this trash over there. Mr. Rogers, how you doing, sir?
Hey, how are you?
All right. It's not hard at all. Who's doing all this dumping? They're not even waiting for dark anymore now. They're just dumping it in the daytime now.
Like I said, we're going to do what we can to get.
And I appreciate that.
Put the cameras back out, put the video surveillance back out there. We're going to do some other things that I don't want to put out on camera because I don't want to.
I appreciate that, yeah.
But you know, I hate to say it, we can't be all the places at all times, but you know, we'll do what we can to make sure this is addressed.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, for him to, and then he says he's trying to help me, which I found kind of funny. I'm the one calling you. I'm trying to help you. That's a criminal act. You're not helping me.
Like I said, Mr. Moment, I will absolutely make sure that we look into it, because like they say, I haven't seen the video. Okay. I don't know the circumstances. I believe you to be a man that always comes with the truth. I don't think that you've ever said anything or done anything. And as I told you when we met a few months ago, I don't take anything personally.
Okay, I appreciate it, because this isn't personal. I mean,
no, absolutely.
You know, if I do something wrong, lock me up, and then we'll go from there.
So,
You know.
so for the complaint today, do you want to speak to Lieutenant Poole now, who's going to take the complaint, or do you want to follow up with him? Because he's here now, the patrol commander who will be looking into this. Hey, how are you? Who is looking into this is here now.
Yeah, I'll speak to him now. I mean, all I want is someone to speak to this gentleman and explain to him that once you, I was trying to give you enough time to look at it, or them to look at it.
It's Monday morning after a busy weekend. Give me I occasionally look at your channel, but I didn't have an opportunity.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was saying, but if they want to take a report now, that's all I'm just coming to you because.
I just don't want you to have to come back down or do a lot. So for him, who's going to look into it, rather than having to reach back out to you, if you're here, it would be easier.
Okay.
We can sit in the interview room here. You can do it here if you're more comfortable.
Well, I would like to record whatever I do. I can't record back there.
You can record. It's right there.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right.
Any interaction you have with us, you can record.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to get this because I'm trying to somebody educate him that he needs, if he's going to be a training officer,
I understand.
he shouldn't train other officers. You don't have to give up your right unless you commit a crime.
I understand.
And that's what, to get CCN numbers, that's ridiculous. He was butthurt because I asked him his name, Chief. And I was recording.
Like I say, Lieutenant Poole will come out. He'll ask you the relevant questions. You are absolutely entitled to record, as I've told you before.
Well, I think he stopped me the last time.
Who stopped you?
When he came down to the property. I think that's the same.
Lieutenant Poole?
Yeah, Internal Affairs?
No, that's Lieutenant, you're thinking of Captain Sibley.
Oh, yeah, Sibley. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'll wait. I mean, I'm here.
Okay, I'm going to send him out now. He's back there. So,
okay.
So fortunately, I'm available. He was available.
Yeah, I seen your.
I'll try to stop through when I get a chance, just to ascertain what's going on over there. Obviously, got a lot going on, but as I'm over there, I'll stop through. You know over there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. I mean, like I say, I came to get this. Okay. I didn't think you would be here. I would give you enough time to look at the video and see.
I'll go back to my office and take a look at it.
And go from there.
All right.
All right. Appreciate it.
I'm sending out. What's that?
If they put a. Never mind. I'll tell you. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right. I'll send them out now.
All right. Thank you. So that was the Chief of Police of Takoma Park Police Department. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kill this phone line and I'm going to keep the body camera rolling. Stay tuned.